Welcome back to another episode of The Daily Dose in Life Unedited. Welcome back, guys. It is Tuesday. It is December 20th, so it is just a few days before Christmas. It's currently 5:30 in the morning, and I have been at the studio for little over an hour now because I just can't sleep. And I have so many things on my mind, and some of them are funny and some of them are serious, and some of them make me want to cry and some of them make me want to laugh. Like, for instance, I have decided that I decided my life is boring and dull. So, a week before Christmas would be a great time to decide to start online dating. If you could see the eye roll I'm giving myself at the moment. But it's okay, because I think this is what I need. I'm not looking for something serious. I'm not looking for something crazy, but I'm looking for something that's going to push me a little farther outside of my comfort zone and push me into something new, which would be doing anything outside of the studio, home, or with my children, right? Like that is my life. So I decided to start online dating, and somebody had messaged me, in the middle of the night, and I had messaged back this morning, and they replied, and I was like 1:30 to 4:30, like, do you sleep? And they responded with their job, and all I could think was, well, don't tell him your reason, Tab, because your reason is perimenopause and insomnia, which is one of the fabulous symptoms of being in perimenopause. So we are officially at that stage of life, which also makes me want to laugh and cry. But on a serious note, co-parenting is hard, but co-parenting with an unstable, narcissistic other parent during the holidays is even harder. For the past, I shared with you last week, I think, that my daughter has been going through some really, really intense behavior stuff. And, we are in the process of getting her evaluated. And some of the potential diagnoses that they're throwing out are terrifying and scary and leave you feeling I don't know the right term, because there's a part of me that feels responsible, but then there's this logical piece of me that knows we are not responsible, and the best I can do is exactly what I'm doing, which is keeping her in therapy and seeking treatment and attempting to help her. But the problem is, I know that the relationship she has with her other parent is largely contributing to the behavior. And there are moments and there are times, we stood together in the middle of one of her major explosive meltdowns, and we took away Christmas. And then like 3 days later, he's like, well, we can't do that. That's just ridiculous. We can't do that. And in my head, I'm like, well, we also can't backtrack on our word. So things have been, they've been explosive lately. He's been flip-flopping between super like in your face wanting to help, and at the same time turning around and screaming and yelling at you, which was my entire married life with him. So I'm very familiar with that scenario, and blaming me for everything and telling me how it's all my fault. And the other day my therapist and I were having a conversation, and she was reminding me that I don't need to take any of it, that I don't need to allow him to speak to me like this and do these things. And I think part of the reason I haven't slept tonight is because Tuesdays is my very early morning meeting day. It's been 2 years. I have not taken the kids to school on a Tuesday morning in 2 years because I have a meeting that starts at 6:30 in the morning. So I am out of the house by 6:00. And I don't know whether or not he is going to show up to take the kids to school this morning. And these are real things that people go through, but they're not necessarily putting out for the world to see. Right? I share my story because I want other women to know that they're not alone. Because I have had multiple people in my life who are like, well, it's not a big deal. I mean, just be ready to take them. And if he doesn't show up, then you take them. And if he does, then you let him take them. But when you're in the middle of it, it's not that simple. And here's the other thing. And I think this is something that's really, really important to notice. So much of his change and the in my face yelling and screaming again, and the anger and the hatred and the gaslighting, it's come back in the past few weeks. Well, if you've been following my story at all, then you know that going back to several months ago, I had deemed my 40th birthday as the first page in the next book. Like I had kind of said, no, at November 23rd at 11:59 p.m., this book closes and we open the next book in the series, and it's going to start off on a totally different foot. And what's wild is it did. Like, no lie, legit, starting that day, I turned 40 and things turned. The universe had my back. But, and here's how I know that, because I had multiple comments from people I know, from people I don't know, who talked about, even my landlord at the studio. He had stopped in and we were talking, and I had owed him rent, and then the check I had used, because of course I couldn't find my actual checkbook, and I found like an old checkbook that I thought was still attached to the account, but of course it wasn't. So of course it bounced because that account is closed, like normal, typical stuff. So then I had texted him and I was like, okay, here's the deal. You're close to the studio today. Stop in. I'm going to the bank. I'm getting cash, yada, yada. Right. So he came in, and as we were talking, and he was like, your sparkle is back. Like, he's like, I see your sparkle again. And my landlord, this is not a man who's hitting on me. He's closing in on retirement. He's the age of my parents. He is one of the nicest men I've ever met in my life. And I would not still be in business if it wasn't for him. But he has kids my age. It's not there's nothing like innuendos there, right? I want to be perfectly clear about that. And he's like, you have a sparkle again. He's like, it's really good to see you smile. And I've heard that from several people recently. And what I've realized is, as the brighter my sparkle comes back, as the more I start to shine in the same ways I did before we got married, before I ever met him, the angrier that makes him. Because he does not, has not, and never will root for my success. So as the business turns a corner, as I personally turn a corner, I have to now learn, and this is something new for me, I have to learn how to continue to shine while shutting him down and shutting him out. And I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to co-parent while shutting him down. And this is going to be a journey we're going to go on together, because I really have no answers. So right now I have knots in my stomach over if he's going to show up this morning to take the kids to school, and how he will treat my parents when he gets there. I have knots in my stomach over Christmas, because 2 days ago, based on behavior from 2 days ago, I absolutely took Christmas Eve away. And I'm not sure if that means I'm staying home or my dad is staying home, or if I'm going to try and find someone who's going to come sit at the house with her. I'm not sure. What I do know is there are 11 days left in this year, and I am really freaking ready for 2023. So I don't know. You guys, what do I have to say to you today? I really have no idea. I have been up most of the night. I am taking my kids' therapy appointment today. Because when the therapist called to confirm that my son would be there, and I said, I don't know, maybe Cheryl will be there because I think maybe she needs it more. And then I jokingly said, actually, I think I'm the one who needs it most. And she had said, I think that's a good idea. I think you should come in and you and I should talk where we can freely discuss things with no little ears around on the other side of the door at all. And we can game plan for Christmas and kind of take a stab at what we're going to do next. So I will keep you guys updated. I will keep you updated on what happens for Christmas. I will keep you updated on whether or not he showed up today. And on everything else that's coming. It's this weird mix, because I feel like my sparkle is back, and I'm still learning how to run with it. Like, even though I have these knots in my stomach over Christmas, I still feel like things are okay. Things are good. Life right now is good. I am so freaking excited for 2023. It's been the past several years, I have been excited for New Year's because I couldn't wait, because the year was so bad. I couldn't wait for it to be over. This year, I'm really excited because I actually feel like I've turned this leaf, I've turned this chapter, and next up is like whatever's coming next it's almost here and I'm ready for it. I also feel like I'm rambling right now, you guys, which is going to be just some of these Daily Dose episodes. They're just going to be rambles because you know what? That's the inside of my brain. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Go out and do something good today, guys. Go out and make somebody smile. Go brush somebody's car off. Go buy somebody a coffee. All right. Let's do the most together to make the most out of 2022.